Hi everybody, Rachel Werner back here with you. I'm cooking in my kitchen. I'm Tops's nutrition and fitness editor. Okay, so you guys, first and foremost, I got dressed up today just to cook for you. Remember, that's another way just to kind of, make it fun. Have some fun with your meal times, right? You don't necessarily have to be leaving. What's wrong with just getting dressed up, putting on a nice dress, a nice shirt, and just maybe some nice pants, some jewelry, and just hanging out in your kitchen and treating yourself, right? That's just another way to add a little burst of positivity and joy in your day or your night, okay? So remember, keep it festive, make yourself smile. Life is about joy. But another thing we really like is we like cooking good food. So it's summer right now, and I know I don't always love being in front of like my stove or oven when it's really hot and humid out, since I live in the Midwest in the United States. So, and some of you, this might apply year round, where you just like you want a quick meal, you want it quickly, whether it's hot or not outside, you don't necessarily want to be like cooking. So I'm going to show you guys how to make one of my fastest, easiest meals. It's also it can be low sodium. It's going to be plant-based, but again, you could toss in some meat if you wanted to. So this is my quick DIY ramen version, okay? So most of us at some point, you may have either eaten ramen as a child or maybe in college, or maybe you have grandkids who come over and it's just a quick thing for you to make for them. Ramen though, like pre-packaged in the grocery stores, is super high in sodium and sometimes can be super high in carbs too, depending on like the size of the packaging. And it's just not the best like ready-made food ready to go all the time, depending on what you're buying. So I have come up with my own DIY version. So Asian noodles, rice noodles in particular, these ones are the super thin kind, like the vermicelli, but this is true for any type of Asian instant noodle that's not pre-packaged, right? It's not a pre-packaged ramen. You can get these packages in bulk, usually for, sometimes depending on where you're at, $1 or less, not more than usually like $3 or less. And so great like budget buy. What you do is go ahead. So mine tend to go all over the place. Luckily I have a puppy, so it'll probably come out, some will fly around, the dog will eat it later. It's all good. And then you just put them in a bowl, okay? So you're gonna see me put them in a bowl. And then, I don't know about you, but I have an electric kettle, okay? So you can also do this with just boiling hot water on the stove in a regular kettle or in a pot. But like I said, I have an electric kettle, which I've already heated up. And then what I do is I'm gonna add hot water to these rice noodles, right? Okay, so rice noodles, hot water. I have not had to turn on the stove, as you will see. And I'm just gonna let these kind of sit here in this bowl, and they will just slowly start to, dissolve and get softened, just like if I had dropped them in a hot pot of boiling water on the stove. So I'm gonna let that sit for a couple minutes, let it do its thing. And then, because I don't necessarily, love just eating just the noodles by themselves. You could do that. You could also add like a non-sodium veggie broth, okay? So that would keep low sodium or no sodium veggie broth. And you can make it into a soup. But as you guys know, I eat plant-based, so I love me some veggies. And one veggie that has a lot of protein is edamame, okay? And so again, I'm not turning on the stove or the oven today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these frozen edamame that are essentially ready to eat. You can also just buy ready to eat kind of edamame, like a package that oftentimes will be in the refrigerated section of a grocery store. And so, but mine were frozen. So I'm just gonna take these, put just a smidge of water, and I do mean just a smidge, in the bowl, all right? Because then I'm gonna toss these in my microwave back here. Yep, you see me? Put them in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes. You could do 2 minutes. You know your microwave. Some microwaves tend to run hotter than others. Mine, especially if I haven't used it at all today, can be a little, slow on the warming up process. So I put mine in for about 1.5 minutes. As you can see, my rice noodles are slowly, so remember it was that big kind of hunk. And now, so quickly, it's already started to get softer and dissolved, and then kind of folded them in on each other. Also, I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek here, okay? So, I'm just gonna do mine with the edamame and the noodles. I'm gonna strain the noodles, mix my edamame in, and that's gonna be my quick go-to lunch for today. But you can add whatever seasoning you want. You like a lot of heat, a little heat, toss in some hot sauce, some Tabasco, maybe some sriracha, that works well. You could add a little salt, but again, if we're trying to keep the low sodium down, don't worry about that. And I would recommend squeezing in a bit of a little lemon or lime. I think I'm gonna do lime today because I already have a lime cut in the fridge that I need to use up. The other thing that you could do at the end of your meal, right? I don't know about you, sometimes I'm eating and I want a little sweet treat at the end, right? So then instead of reaching for, let's say, a piece of candy or cookie, what I'm gonna do is, you guys know I love my frozen fruit. Sometimes I'll just get a piece of frozen fruit out, one little piece. Suck on that. And that can be just a great way just to kind of quench a sweet tooth, right? So that'll be my little dessert, my little sweet treat to myself at the end. So I'm just going ahead and just stick that to the side because you guys know I have not eaten lunch yet. So as I would tell my daughter, you gotta wait, you gotta eat your lunch, then you can have dessert, okay? So you can see my edamame is all nice and steamy. Yum, yum. Yep, they're cooked, ready to go. And voila, looks like my noodles are done too. So all you have to do then is just strain the noodles out, add your edamame. This also works with you could also steam other frozen vegetables, whether on the stove or in the microwave quick, like broccoli, carrots. You could also do just like raw veggies too. Throw in some peppers, but mix it all up. And there you go. There's your DIY ramen. That is going to be way more nutrient dense and a lot less sodium for you. So, okay. And remember, rice noodles too tend to be, if you buy like these big packages and you stick to the serving size, you'll keep your carb count down too, okay? So drop notes in the chat if you guys decide to try this one. I'm also gonna write up the full recipe, one variation of this next month in August for my Wellness Wednesday blog. If you guys have any other requests, keep me posted. And then hopefully have a great rest of the day. Yay, and smile. Go get dressed up and do something fun. Treat yourself.